Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Lights, Camera, Akron. I'm Brissa Bradfield.
And I'm Jay Goliath, reporting to you from Kobe Hall. On this episode, Nick One checked out the new H. Kenneth Barker Center for Economic Education in the College of Education.
And reporter Bree Hayes sat down with Emily Jankowski, the president of a super neat organization here on campus.
All this and more coming up on Lights, Camera, Akron.
Welcome back, everyone.
Economic education is very important in today's society.
And one way UA is trying to help is by opening up the new H. Kenneth Barker Center for Economic Education here in the College of Education.
LCA reporter Naquan James has more.
The LeBron James Family Foundation College Education has many centers that are tailored to helping future educators in their content areas. One of these centers is the new H. Kenneth Barker Center for Economic Education. Dr. Brad Magoo, the center's executive director, says the center is a resource for teachers all across Northeast Ohio.
It does professional development programming for area teachers across the state of Ohio with a focus on the Akron area, Northeast Ohio.
The focus of the center is to promote financial literacy, entrepreneurship, and economic education on a global scale.
We have workshops for teachers, for counselors, for administrators, on ways in which they can help their students prepare financially for their future. So we give them resources and tools to help students learn how to budget, live on a budget, on career exploration, thinking through different careers and how much those careers pay and what are the education requirements for those different careers. Programming in the area of entrepreneurship education, our second pillar, where we help cultivate the spirit of entrepreneurship in promoting kind of the entrepreneurship mindset. So we work with teachers to get students to think through how they can help cultivate the next wave of business owners that our communities desperately need in order to create jobs and promote economic vibrancy. Economic education at large. So we'll do workshops for area educators in microeconomics, macroeconomics. Just this past summer, we led some programming, study abroad programming to help promote global economics and global economic education.
They also have different workshops, institutes, keynote speakers, and professional development opportunities that they help to support.
So anyone that's sort of interested in learning how to budget, grow in regards to financial literacy, or be a business owner, interested in just learning more in the area of economics, I have a host of different resources that help educators prepare their students to manage money.
There are other economic education centers all across the country. Dr. Magoo explains that how the Barker Center stands out is that it is rooted in the community through partnerships with schools and businesses.
We have an amazing relationship with our community partners, and so we really ground our programming in the needs of our community and the educators that we serve, needs of schools, and just sort of be a great jewel sort of in Northeast Ohio in economic education.
In the United States, economic education and financial literacy is not taught until late into a scholar's education, usually 11th or 12th grade. This is mainly due to the heavy focus on standardized testing in content areas such as ELA or math. Dr. Magoo explains why economic education is important, including that 60 to 65% of families are living paycheck to paycheck.
So our goal is to try to make these financial rules guidelines more common knowledge in order to help people better prepare for a strong financial future. And then even when you talk with students, I think there's a research study that came out that said 80% of students feel like they want additional resources in order to be better financial stewards. So there's a huge demand for more resources, and the Center for Economic Education is a tool for the community.
The goal of the Barker Center is to provide teachers with resources to give the best type of economic education to their scholars.
Our goal at the Barker Center has been if we can work with educators, if we can work with teachers and future teachers, then if we get those resources and tools, we train teachers to do economic education well. We give them the tools, we give them the confidence, then they take those tools and confidence in the classroom, and that economic perspective grows exponentially through their students by working with their students. With educators, we can grow this strong economic mindset exponentially by kind of reaching these teachers. So that's always been our focus, having a strong impact with educators kind of in the communities that we service.
More information about the center and future events they are having can be found on www.akron.edu/education or visit the center on the 4th floor as a call. Reporting for the College of Education, I'm Naquan James for ZTV's Lights Camera Akron.
Wow, what a great turnout. I really liked how many programs there are offered in the education program.
Absolutely. Another awesome thing going on around campus is a pretty cool study, if you ask me.
The study deals with mindfulness and the benefits it has to stressed out college students.
Reporter Tashayla Davis had the chance to check out the study that happens every Friday for 6 weeks here in UA's Olin Hall.
Let's check it out.
A recent study on Akron University students conducted by the Department of Sociology have found that this 6-week mindfulness meditation class effectively reduced symptoms of depression and generalized anxiety disorder among our students. This is a great 6-week program taught by Dr. Jane Eckner, and she briefly explained to me what goes on during the classes.
It's an hour class. I usually conduct a 2-hour class, so we're in a really very condensed form. But what we're doing mostly is I'm providing information about a mindfulness skill training, which is really a mind training. And throughout the class, I also put a mix of the actual practices. So we're doing a lot of concentration on breathing and concentration on physical sensations and thinking.
Mental health is very important to college students. It includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. She talks about how important should students consider this class.
I mean, my own bias is that if you really want to have the life you want, you have to show up for it moment by moment. So this is really that training that gives us that present moment skill so we can make choices, really the choices from that best and highest part of ourselves that allow us to really put together the life that we want.
Mental health is important at every stage of life from childhood through adult life. I was curious to know what motivated her to start these classes for the students at the University of Akron.
Well, I was actually asked to do this program as part of a research project at Akron University, but I found in my own professional life as a psychologist working in private practice for 37 years, and also in my personal life, that even with the best intentions, we sometimes don't follow through with what those good intentions are all about. We have great ideas about how we want to be successful, or how we want to be healthy, or how we want to have good relationships, but if we can't show up in the moment to do the right thing, we really don't get to have the life that we want, and the success that we want, and the relationships that we want.
Results you can get just by attending will have you at a great mind state. She shares with me the results she hopes to get from the study.
Well, the results from the particular study was really to look at esteem issues and mental health issues of students to see if this very simple, straightforward mindfulness technique could possibly improve how they felt about themselves, how they felt about their position as students, how they felt about the workload, things like that.
Not only she wanted to get results, she also wanted students to take something from this mindfulness training.
The best thing that any of us can take away from a mindfulness training is understanding that we're in charge and that our thoughts are merely mental events and that there is a deeper knowing within us that we can operate from much of the time. That thinking is very valuable, and certainly here I am on a university campus, and we don't want to diminish what thinking and intellectual pursuits offer. But the other piece is knowing how to live more fully human, which is knowing that there is a mind-body connection, not just the mind.
She has a great idea of how it helped college students cope with stress through these classes she provides.
Well, one of the things that we're looking at is we're looking at the combination of, or the interaction, I should say, of thoughts, feelings, body sensations, and how they cultivate moods and how they also deepen moods. And think about it. You know, sometimes we can start with kind of a funky feeling or a negative kind of a thought process, and if we start to feed that, or if we're in a kind of a funky place anyway, it just deepens and worsens. So one of the things we want to do is we want to be able to turn toward that phenomena and see how we can stop investing all that energy into negative moods and negative thoughts and negative feelings.
Dr. Eckert shared how mindfulness helped her personally so that she knows how to go about things when it comes to mental health.
I'm a person who is prone to overworking. I'm a person who's prone to stress and anxiety. And one of the things that it has allowed me to do is really to look at that and own that I'm creating much of it, and that there's another way that I can kind of see life. It's like putting on a different pair of glasses, that it doesn't have to be all those things that I think about, or all those negative kinds of lenses that I see through, that it really is possible to kind of cut that short. That mind, that negative thinking is like a train that sometimes when we're in a low mood or when we're stressed, that negativity runs like a train 24/7. And I have to know how to get off the train. And one of the things that this has taught me to do is get off the train and step back from the tracks.
She shared how she was motivated to get into this field.
One of the things that I found is that there was always a population who did not seem to get better, no matter how hard we both tried in the process, in the therapeutic process. And so I was always looking for alternative ways, alternative skills and techniques to offer my clients that would allow them to have the lives that they really wanted. And so this began to be one of those pieces that, by golly, if you can show up in the present moment, there's a real solid chance that you're going to make a different choice than you've made. You know, and there's that saying, if you keep doing what you've always done, you're going to keep having what you've always had, right? And they call that insanity. And doesn't it feel crazy? You know? So it's really knowing, how do I get myself into those places? How do I get myself into that place where I'm doing the same old, same old? And part of that is that the mind tends to be connected with survival. And if I'm stressed, or if I'm afraid, if I'm hungry, if I'm lonely, if I'm angry, I'm likely to do the same old, same old. So this is also about turning toward those parts of our lives and saying, maybe there's another way to do this. But I have to have the presence of mind in order to show up and even acknowledge what's happening to me.
This is Tashayla David with ZTV's Lights, Camera, Akron.
Wow, I wish I was as calm as that lady.
Oh yeah, me too. Especially since finals are coming up, I need to work on my mindfulness.
You really do, and it's so important that people slow down and take time for themselves and do some fun things.
One fun thing you do is stop by the Great Lakes Science Center, where our Zips racing team is featured in a cool new car exhibit. And I had the chance to stop by and check it out.
My name is Dr. Dan Deckler. I'm a professor of mechanical engineering here at the University of Akron, and I am the advisor for the Formula Combustion team.
I'm Ezra Maloney. I'm the team captain here at Zips Racing. I'm a senior mechanical engineering technology major.
Dr. Deckler and Ezra are a part of the Zips racing team and Society of Automated Engineers here at the University of Akron. Their team is tasked with designing, building, and racing a race car every year. This year, they were contacted by the Great Lakes Science Center to have their cars featured in a brand new interactive exhibit called Vroom.
We were contacted by them, and they were really impressed with the cars, the quality of the cars. So they actually were so impressed that they actually asked to have 3 cars. So we have 3 cars up there from various years, and we're the only ones, as far as a university or another racing team or anything, we're the only ones that have cars up there as part of the display.
The exhibit has 3 of the Zips racing cars on display. One to showcase aerodynamics, one disassembled to show the inner workings of a car, and one for kids to sit in and take photos with. The team is really excited to help kids learn more about what they do.
I think it really helps kids to visualize something while they're learning it, not just have something on a sheet of paper or up on a wall, but some three-dimensional, real thing in the world to really learn off of. So to actually see a race car, to be able to actually sit in it, kind of excites them more into wanting to learn about it.
All of a sudden, some of this stuff becomes real to them now by actually being able to go up and touch a tire, and look at brakes and aerodynamics and stuff. All of a sudden,
Suspension components.
Suspension, yeah. All this becomes real.
Real for the kids and surreal for the team. They were so excited to hear that the Science Center wanted to feature their work.
Pretty excited. I mean, I remember going to the Great Lakes Science Center when I was a kid, so it was pretty sweet to get a call and say, hey, they're interested in coming down.
Claire from the Great Lakes Science Center came down and she saw the cars and we were over there talking to her, remember? And she was like, well, do you think we could have possibly 3 cars up here? Because they were she first came in, she was talking about 1 car and she saw them and we were like, wow, yeah, sure, no problem.
Yeah.
The team says it's great to see their hard work pay off in the exhibit. Designing a car from nothing is not an easy task.
We start every year from scratch, usually in the summer, and then we do all the engineering design work, and then come about December? We actually do the build.
Switch over to build, yeah. You're just free to imagine. You get a rule book that's fairly thick. Most of it has to do with safety, but you're really free to just build whatever you want, design whatever you want, and develop whatever you want.
The cars they design are fast, high-powered, and technical machines.
It accelerates in about 2.1 seconds from 0 to 60, and then it'll pull 2 Gs in the corner.
We also spend a lot of time on brakes, because what you want to do is you want to go into that corner hard and fast and just brake as hard as you can and then accelerate out of the corner. Most people, when they think of race cars or even cars, their own cars, they don't think much about the brakes. But braking is extremely important in racing.
Yeah, if you can outbrake your opponent, you can normally do pretty well.
And the team does pretty well when it comes to competition racing. Last year in Michigan, the team took 6th place out of 112 teams from all over the world, making them the highest placed United States team in the competition.
These young men and women, it boggles my mind the kind of what they do in basically 9 months. Go from design to building one of these cars, that looks so professional and they do this year in and then year out. I'm just amazed at what they can do in such a short amount of time.
The room exhibit is open at the Great Lakes Science Center from now until Labor Day on September 2nd, so be sure to show Zips Racing your support and check it out. From Lights Camera Akron, I'm Jay Goliath.
That exhibit looks like so much fun for the whole family too.
Oh yeah, it's a great way for children and adults to learn about cars and have fun doing it.
For sure. Well, it looks like it's time for our first commercial break. We'll be right back.
Are your children in the right car seat for their age and size? It may be too late to check when you're on the road. Fortunately, you're on the couch. Don't think you know. Know you know.
Welcome back to LCA, everyone.
There are so many impactful organizations here on UA's campus.
And one special one is the Period Project, ran by Miss Emily Jankowski.
The Period Project collects feminine products for women who might not have the easiest access to them. Reporter Bree Hayes has more.
The Period Project is a newer organization that recently came to campus by a student who felt that something needed to be done about the lack of accessibility of feminine care products.
The Period Project is a new organization at campus. It's only our 2nd year. We are created to reduce the stigma around periods and to collect menstrual products for neighborhood organizations and agencies. We've affected campus. We've partner with a lot of organizations. We're currently partnered with the Coalition Against Sexual Assault and Theater Guild for their new play, How I Learned to Drive. And we collected over 3,000 products from the Battered Women's Shelter in Asia. Well, currently we're teamed up with the Coalition Against Sexual Assault because we're both women-oriented organizations on campus. And we're doing that, we're working with Theater Guild and their new play, How I Learned to Drive. It's about sexual assault, and it's a really powerful play. And they're collecting menstrual products for us for donations instead of charging admission, which is really exciting because we can hopefully help a lot of people with that. So that's one of the main ways we're currently partnering with people. But we also partner with the Rape Crisis Center here on campus, and they support a lot of our events by bringing freebies they have and just by having their presence there. It's been really awesome.
Not only does the Period Project work with other organizations on campus, they also work with the local Battered Women's Shelter, as well as hold many events during the year to raise awareness.
Well, we've been partnering with them since our creation. I believe their volunteer outreach coordinator at the time, Derek Butler, reached out to us first, and he was interested in us collecting and donating menstrual products. But we've just always had a really good connection with them, and we also work well with RCC because they're part of their Global Healing community, and they're here on campus. So they also found out about it that way. We're still a new organization, so we're still looking for new ways to get people involved. Our paint night we're having right now is a new way of recruiting people, but we have an annual tampon drive that involves the sororities on campus that have houses, and we put our tampon boxes in their houses to collect tampons for local agencies, and the winner gets Sami cookies.
Although the Period Project is new to campus, the project hopes to change the stigma of menstruation and educate people about the products that females need.
Rachel Turkovich founded this organization last year, and she had a friend who goes to Ohio University, and she helped form the first chapter there. So we're like the second branch chapter, but there are definitely different Period Project groups across the United States that we're not affiliated with, but they're also doing the same awesome mission that we're doing. The organization last year really welcomed me into leadership almost immediately, and I really liked how it was a really small organization. It was close-knit, and I felt like it really impacted the community. It was really clear that what we could do. We could collect tampons and we could give them to people in need. So the reason I joined the Period Project is last year I noticed they were a really close-knit organization, and they were involved in something I found really interesting. Not many people want to talk about periods basically ever, and it's a really huge need. I've done a lot of research on it, and I've noticed that a lot of girls don't go to school because they don't have the necessary supplies, and that's horrible, and it really affects a lot of women every day. So I want to get involved in that organization for that reason, and I'm also excited to be able to do something that I can tangibly help people in the community. And we get a lot of people involved in different ways. We've had Kahoot nights, and we have this paint night right now, and we just get the message out. It's really awesome.
The Period Project is always looking for new members to join their team. If you are interested, head over to their social media or check out some of the upcoming events that they are hosting this semester.
We are always looking for new members. We are always really excited to meet new people. We have a general meeting on the first Tuesday of every month. Our next one is, I believe, April 2nd in the Student Union in room 314. We also have an Instagram page we'd love everyone to follow, and we have an email list you can sign up for. We're trying to put on a yoga night right now. It's still in the works, so we're going to see what happens with that. But if you want to sign up for an email list or follow our Instagram, you can learn all about the events.
This has been Bree Hayes with Lights, Camera, Akron.
What a great organization.
It truly is. And I actually had the opportunity to sit down with the past president of the Period Project last fall, and it's so cool to see how much the organization has grown.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. That's awesome. How long has the organization been on campus?
For about 1.5 years now.
Really? Mm-hmm. No way. Well, folks, it's time for our second and final commercial break. And when we come back, we'll send it over to the newsroom for this week's headlines.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back, everyone.
It's that time, America. Time to send it over to the newsroom with reporter Maddie Williams for this week's headlines.
Thanks, guys. Our Akron Esports Varsity Rocket League team became the first team in the history of Collegiate Rocket League to qualify for nationals twice in a row after winning the Collegiate Rocket League Northern Conference Championship on March 20th. The Zips are the only national championship team from last season to qualify for nationals again in the spring. Akron's victory will take the team to the NCAA Final Four Fest at the Minneapolis Convention Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where the team will have an opportunity to compete for $50,000 in scholarship prize pool in front of a live audience. Rocket League is a vehicle action soccer game. The 3 players control rocket-powered cars to hit a ball into the opponent's goal to score points, much like traditional soccer. This season, the CRL national event will be part of the TBS's E-League Rocket League Game Zone, presented by Axe. The activation will occur April 5th to 8th at the Fan Fest, and the competition will be broadcasted live on twitch.tv. Good luck, guys! Student engineers from the Biomedical Engineering Design Team and NASA Robotics Team in our College of Engineering are providing their answers in the form of customized electronic toys fitted for area youngsters with physical disabilities. The students, representing several academic majors, redesigned the controls, settings, and other features of 8 off-the-shelf powered wheel vehicles for children whose physical limitations leave them unable to operate the cars with their factory settings. The vehicles were modified as a part of the Adopt a Car workshop put on by the Inclusioners, a Summit County-based nonprofit organization that provides independence and mobility to individuals with developmental disabilities. The children were presented their new toys on March 15th at Lock 3 near the Children's Museum during the organization's Adopt a Car Inclusion Day event. Sophomore Hannah Mackey of Seaville and Megan Bruns of Brunswick contributed work to all 8 adapted vehicles, each one needing to fit the specific need and capabilities of the child who will receive it. Reporting from the newsroom, I'm Maddie Williams. Jay and Marissa, back to you guys.
Thanks, Maddie.
Well, guys, it looks like that'll be it for this episode of Lights, Camera, Akron.
And as always, be sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, follow us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at ZTV LCA for the latest. I'm Marissa Bradfield.
And I'm Jay Goliath. Thanks for watching Lights, Camera, Akron.
This program was produced by ZTV at the University of Akron. Do you want to gain experience in video production, professional social media, or working with real clients? Visit the UA School of Communications online or follow us on social media to learn more. ZTV, make media, make a difference.